Hello, Physio practice owners. If you want to know one of the most underutilized, but one of the most cost-effective and high ROI marketing channels that physio practices still don't use to this day, then this is the episode for you. Hello, and welcome to today's episode. It is called the ROI Turbocharger. Why retargeting is an absolute must for physio practices. All right. Now, just in case you're wondering, if you haven't heard, by the way, what I'm about to say applies to, businesses with multiple practices all across the country, or even if you're just starting out. It's very, very important. Okay. So, just in case you didn't know, what is retargeting? Retargeting is, I guess you can call it a strategy or a technique that keeps your practice top of mind for potential patients or staff that haven't taken the action you want them to in the website. All right, that's a big mouthful. Let me say that again. So it's a way of keeping your practice top of mind to potential patients and staff that didn't take the action you wanted them to on your website. Yes, you heard correctly. I did say staff as well. I'm going to mention a bit more about how that can fit into your retargeting as well. All right. If you ever found that getting staff could be something that is a bit challenging for you, this is a great strategy to keep staying in front of some great staff to get them back into your practice as well. Okay. So what else is retargeting other than that? It's basically is showing ads. So remember, it's just keeping practice top of mind. But how does it do that? It does that by showing ads to people who visited your website, but remember, they didn't take the action you wanted them to take. It shows ads to them all over the internet. All right, that's what retargeting is. So targeting means they're coming to your website. Retargeting means the people who already been to your website, you're going to target them again. Right? And this is a phenomenal way, a very, very cost-effective way to turn lost patients into patients. It's a great way to turn great lost applicants to your practice into staff. It's a two-pronged approach. All right. So now that you know what retargeting is, why is it so powerful? Well, if you really think about it, now, whenever you buy something, unless you're in absolute dire need of getting a solution right now, right? It's an emergency, let's just say, you tend to take your time, purchasing it, right? So just like that, even though you might have the greatest practice on earth, typical patients don't book on the first visit unless they have an absolute need to, which is about 3% of the audience. All right. Well, that's another conversation. There's lots of podcast topics about that that you can have. But typically, so about 97% of patients do not book on the first visit. All right. Most of them need about 5 to 7 touch points before making a decision. And sometimes, right, this 5 to 7 touch points is going more and more, because the number of messages in this world, ads and sponsors and all that kind of thing, is just skyrocketing. It's just going higher and higher. And as a result of that, the number of touch points you need to turn a visitor into a patient is becoming higher. But let's just say it's around 5 to 7 touch points at the moment, right? We need to have at least that to get most of the patients over, right? So the retargeting is so powerful because it allows you to get these touch points by appearing all over the internet. Every time you appear, that's a touch point. You want to have as many touch points as possible, right? And retargeting, like I mentioned before, it's ridiculously ROI positive, right? And it costs much, much less than targeting an audience who don't know about you. Because remember, retargeting is getting in front of people who already been to your website, who already had some sort of interaction with you. Whether it be a website, Facebook, YouTube channel, Instagram channel, Spotify podcast, whatever that is, whoever's been there, you're retargeting them. All right. And because it's no longer a cold audience, it's much cheaper to reach them, right? Because you're very, very targeted. So doing this the right way will get your marketing costs low. It'll reduce the marketing costs. It's an ROI turbocharger. It really, really boosts the ROI of every marketing dollar spent, all right? If you look at a typical Google ads campaign or a Facebook ads campaign or Instagram ads campaign, YouTube ad campaign, the campaigns that have the highest ROI out of all of them by far is retargeting, right? Because you're getting in front of people who already know you. It helps you fill your appointment book much, much faster, much, much cheaper without necessarily going after a new audience, using the existing audience that already knows you. And one of the greatest things about retargeting is, think of it as a 24/7 salesperson that is all over the internet, wherever your patients are, wherever your website visitors are, wherever your people that you retarget, you have a 24/7 salesperson all across the internet to bring you back more new patients and bring you back staff as well. It's very, very powerful. So what are some key mistakes when it comes to physio practices, when it comes to getting new patients or getting even new staff, right? One of the biggest things is they don't follow up enough, all right? Because ask yourself this, do you ever follow up all of the visitors that's come to your website? I can almost guarantee you that's probably going to be a no. No one has the time to, right? There's a lot of visitors coming through. So most clinics lose patients and even staff who come to check you out before applying for a role or accepting a role, right? So most clinics lose patients and staff who visit their website, but they don't take an action, all right? This is why retargeting is very, very powerful. It fixes this by reminding them, constantly reminding them on multiple areas across the internet for them to take that action, whether it be book a call, book an appointment, make a call, or apply for that job. All right? Very important. So, how does it work? Now, we've sort of covered this already. How does retargeting work? It works with the assets you have where your audience comes into. The assets that I'm talking about are your Facebook page, your Instagram page, your LinkedIn page, your YouTube channel, your website, or your landing pages. Wherever people come to get to know a bit more about your practice. That's the asset. Now, your website's a big one because even though you have your Instagram, YouTube channels, anyone who's pretty interested, a bit more interested than just your social channels will typically go to your website, right? And it's almost 100% of patients that you will get is through the website. And how this works is you have your pixels, right? Your Google pixel, your YouTube pixel, your Google retargeting pixel, Google Tag Manager, all those pixels, you need to have them in the assets, right? Now, the unfortunate thing about, for example, Facebook and Google and YouTube is you can't put a Google pixel on your Facebook page. It just doesn't work. It's just competing, right? So, but you need to make sure that all those pixels or codes in your actual website, right? In all of your website, all of the pages, all the landing pages, every single nook and cranny of your website, right? In other words, you need to let Google, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, all the channels know where your visitors have been in your website, which pages, what have they done, how much time have they spent. They really need to know this. And the other way to do that is have a pixel on the code on the website. And what that does then is if they leave the website without taking the action you want them to for new patients, it's either call or book an appointment. For staff, it could be apply, right? For patients, it could be contact us form or chat widget interaction, if they haven't taken an action, then you can follow them all throughout the internet. Remember, you have all these codes and pixels in the website. So Facebook knows they've been to your website, but they didn't take an action. And you know that. You can target on that, on Google and YouTube as well. So you can keep retargeting them until they return and take the action. Remember, 5 to 7 minimum touch points you need to have. All right. This is a really, really great way to keep following up on your patient over time until they take the action you want. So the first thing is Google Display Network retargeting. So this is mainly, this is done through Google Ads, right? So your ads, if you remember those banner ads, you might have gone to maybe Nike or something like that to buy a pair of shoes, and all of a sudden Nike appears everywhere, even on Facebook, right? So your Google Display Network ads, right? So GDN ads are set up through Google Ads, where those banners are appearing across websites around the web, right? Around news sites, around websites, around blogs, and any apps that they use as well daily. Those banners show up, right? And 90% of internet users see Google Display Ads, a ridiculously high amount, right? So it's a very, very powerful way to keep getting a message constantly out there, right? And what it does is it keeps your brand and your message, and you make constant touch points without any extra effort on your part. And it's cheaper to do that because you're doing retargeting ads. Okay. So I want to talk a little bit about retargeting on YouTube, right? Why is that important? Because if you think about it, if you go to YouTube, there's generally an ad, right? There's a video ad before any YouTube ads you watch, right? So YouTube is really, really great. I mean, there's different types of ads you can create for YouTube. There's another podcast episode for this, but generally, YouTube ads are really, really great educational content. For example, let's just say someone's been to your lower back pain page in your website, right? And you know, if they've been there, there's a good chance that they might have lower back pain. Right? Then you can retarget an ad on YouTube, how to fix your lower back pain. We can do stretches and all that kind of thing, but if you need some extra help, come and see us here, all right? Or it could be, still struggling with back pain. If you want to fix your back pain, whatever it is, come and see us. Here's our phone number, here's our website, here's our booking link. It's really good for educational content as well. For example, like I said, how to fix your lower back pain. What this does is you can really specifically target, depending on the page they appear on your website, what kind of ad gets showed on YouTube. Think about it, how powerful that is. You have somebody following someone around, all right? You don't know that this visitor visited the lower back pain. You might, if you really check your Google Analytics, but you might not know. But there's somebody who is always checking and showing the right ads to the person 24/7. Think about that. It's very, very powerful, right? Retargeting on Facebook and Instagram, all right? Now, it's funny. There's all these new platforms coming out, TikTok and all that kind of thing, but lots of people predicted that Facebook and Instagram, their engagement is going to drop and it's going to die and all that kind of thing. It hasn't. It just keeps going up and up and up, right? And with great reason. It's got some great psychological reasons why people are on them daily, right? And so it's a great place to show your message on for people, right? And show up where they are. So you can create ads, retargeting ads like carousel ads. You can create more video ads, stories reminding them to book, all this kind of thing, depending on the kind of journey they had or what page they visited in your website. It's very easy to actually create ads on Facebook and retarget as well. It takes some time, but it's very powerful, right? And then, you can use it as a platform to get your message right in front, the people who've been on the website. Think about that again, all right? Once again, you don't know the visitors and what websites they visited on your page. This is a powerful way of figuring out what their potential needs are. Let's go back to their lower back pain, right? They might have a bit of lower back pain, right? On Facebook, you show an ad about lower back pain and how to treat it and how to get rid of it or whatever that is, retarget them. More and more touch points, 24/7 without you having to worry about it, right? Now, one of the biggest hacks, right, that practices don't use, retargeting isn't just for patients. It's a very useful tool to attract great staff too. But the only way you can do that is if you get, for example, if you put an ad out on a certain job ad platform, you need to get them to come over to your website first, right? To get them to be seen by the codes, right? The Google code, YouTube code, Facebook code, and then you use the same sort of retargeting ads until they book. And you can turn these campaigns on and off depending on, if you're hiring or not, okay? And basically, it's a really, really great way for you to keep appearing around the net to apply for your role. It's a really great way to keep appearing until they apply for your role. Very powerful tool, right? Once again, 24/7 with no effort from you, right? Because if you think about it, the people who apply for your role, you don't really know, the people who looked at your ad on whatever job platform and clicked onto your website, you don't even know who they are. But if you have the codes, Facebook, Google, Instagram, YouTube, they know who they are, right? You can retarget to them. Think about how powerful that is, 24/7. So let's go through who you should retarget. Firstly, like I mentioned, website visitors who didn't take the action that you wanted them to take. Either book an appointment, submit a contact us form, or chat widget, generally, right? You want to retarget the people who clicked on your ads but didn't convert into a new patient, right? You want to retarget past patients who haven't been back for months. And there's a way to do that. You want to retarget people who watched your videos but didn't take any action. You want to retarget potential new hires who viewed your job post on your website. All right. You want to retarget them as well. Very powerful. But the number one secret to high ROI targeting, as I've already sort of spoke about during this, episode, is segmenting. I talked about if somebody has lower back pain, right? You want to show them lower back pain ads, right? If you ask yourself, what are you doing by that? You're making it very, very specific and relevant to what that person is potentially interested in. They go to a lower back pain page, it's likely that they have lower back pain. If they're going to an apply now for the role page, they are probably looking to apply for a role that you have, right? The more you can segment page by page and create ads that are specific to that page, the higher the relevance, therefore more actions, more new patients and more applications from staff. It's very, very important. You have to absolutely segment and separate each page as a different marketing campaign for your business. All right. Each page is a different marketing campaign and need to have ads that are supporting them. Right. So here are some example retargeting ads for patients. All right. Still struggling with back pain? Let's fix that now. Book now. All right. Here's another one. Your first session is waiting. Schedule your appointment now. Here's another one. Don't let your knee pain slow you down. Get relief today. All right. These are very, very specific. Now you have middle one. Your first session is waiting. Schedule now. That could be a generic one. That could be a homepage one. If they came to the homepage and they bounced off, you don't really know what they're all about. But the other ones, you can see they're very, very segmented. All right. These are the kind of retargeting ads you can create. Here's another one for hiring. Here's some retargeting ads for hiring staff. Join our team of physios. Apply today. Here's another one. A career where you grow and thrive. We are hiring now. Apply today. Looking for a better physio job? Let's chat. All right. Pretty good way to retarget. All right. So I'll just give you a quick breakdown on ROI. Right. So clinics with retargeting generally, all right, generally see about 3 to 10x the ROI on ad spend. It's quite big, all right? It's obviously going to be, because it's going to be lower cost per new patient than cold traffic ads, because you're retargeted to a warmer audience who already know about you. And it's definitely cheaper than direct mail, radio, or TV ads, by far. So the next steps, if you haven't already done so, is install the tracking pixel or the codes onto your website. Your Facebook pixel, your Google Ads pixel, Google Tag Manager, your YouTube, actually Facebook and Google. Facebook and Google tags, get started with them. Put them in your website. Then create 3 to 5 simple ad variations. Image or a video, all right? Just pick out a segment, all right? For example, it could be lower back pain, and you can create an image for lower back pain. You can create a video for lower back pain. A carousel is a collection of images for lower back pain. And then set up separate audiences for patients. So each page, remember, it's a different marketing campaign. You want to have a different set of ads related to that. And you can do the same thing for the hiring ones. And then see where you go with that. So final takeaway is a big thing, I guess, in terms of stop losing patients and staff. It's a great way to recapture a lot of your lost leads, all right, website visitors, to get them back in your books, all right? So for patients and for staff, all right? Remember, it's a high ROI, low cost, and it's an absolute must for any growing clinic. Like I said, it's a channel that is not used enough and not well at all, and not done well, done very poorly, all right? So this is something that you really need to work on if you're not, all right? Now, we just covered some basics and why it's important to do retargeting. There's some future episodes and actually how to set these up for yourself. All right. So keep a lookout for them for each of the channels, and that will help you even more to, put some ads together that you can put out into Google world and Facebook world. All right. Other than that, I hope that was useful. Right. If you found it useful, there's lots more content like this, things you can download to really take your physio practice to the next level. Head to our website. It's called physiomarketing.co. If you're like most physio practice owners, you probably want somebody who is an expert in helping growing physio practices to do all this for you. If that is you, then I encourage you to go ahead and book a call with us on our website, physiomarketing.co. You'll see a button in the top right-hand corner to book a call, and I hope I'll see you there. Other than that, we'll see you next time.